Today, we're diving into the pros and cons of living in the beautiful country of Japan. Over the next 9 minutes, we're going to explore various aspects of life in Japan, from its efficient public transportation to its rich culture, from its impressive landscapes to the strong economy. We'll also touch upon the not-so-rosy aspects of living there, including the cost of living, language barriers, and the famous work-life imbalance. Like a coin with two sides, every place has its own set of advantages and disadvantages. Japan, with its unique blend of traditional and modern, is no exception. Understanding these aspects can help us appreciate the country better, whether you're planning to visit, move, or simply curious about life in the land of the rising sun. So, without further ado, let's dive into the pros of living in Japan. There are numerous pros to living in Japan, and today we'll discuss a few of these. Let's begin with safety. Japan is ranked as the 10th safest country in the world, according to the Global Peace Index. This impressive ranking is a testament to Japan's low crime rates, strong law enforcement, and the general respect for rules among its citizens. Living in a safe environment can provide a peace of mind that is truly priceless. Moving on, the transportation system in Japan is nothing short of remarkable. Efficient public transportation networks span across the metropolitan areas and link the large cities. Whether it's the punctual trains, the extensive subway systems, or the convenient buses, getting around in Japan is a breeze. This efficient and reliable transportation system makes commuting stress-free and convenient. Now let's talk about the food. Most Japanese meals are unrefined and unprocessed, with minimal sugar content. The Japanese diet is renowned for its health benefits, with a focus on fish, rice, and seasonal vegetables. This healthy eating culture contributes to the country's high life expectancy and overall wellness. Next up is hospitality. Japan is known for its culture of omotenashi, a unique form of hospitality that revolves around anticipation and fulfillment of guests' needs. This deep-rooted respect for others is not only reflected in the service industry, but also in everyday interactions, making Japan a truly welcoming place to live. Japan's landscapes are another major pro. From the cherry blossom-lined streets of Kyoto, to the snow-capped peaks of Hokkaido, to the tropical beaches of Okinawa, the country is a treasure trove of natural beauty. This diversity of sights makes for stunning views and endless exploration opportunities. Culturally, Japan has a lot to offer as well. Japanese popular culture, which includes manga, anime, cinema, television, music, dance, and video games, is known and loved worldwide. Living in Japan gives you a first-hand experience of this rich culture and a chance to understand the traditions that have shaped it. When it comes to technology, Japan is a global leader. The country excels in robotics, natural sciences, aerospace exploration, and biomedical research. This advanced technology isn't just confined to industries, but is integrated into daily life, making things more efficient and convenient. The strength of Japan's economy is another significant pro. Being a highly developed country, its economy is often referred to as an East Asian model. This economic stability offers a solid foundation for businesses and provides a high standard of living for its residents. Lastly, the geographical location of Japan is a bonus. The country benefits from heavy rainfall and mild temperatures, resulting in fertile land. This, in turn, supports a thriving agriculture sector and contributes to the country's food self-sufficiency. Those are just some of the pros of living in Japan. The country's unique blend of tradition and modernity, coupled with its safety, efficiency, and hospitality, makes it an appealing place to live. However, like any place in the world, it isn't without its challenges. Stay tuned as we delve into the cons of living in Japan in our next segment. While there are many pros to living in Japan, there are also some cons. Let's dive in, shall we? Firstly, the cost of living in Japan is something to consider. While it's less expensive than the US on average, it's still considered an expensive country. Tokyo, for example, is one of the most expensive cities in the world. Rent, groceries, transportation, and dining out can all add up, especially in the city. However, if you venture outside of the metropolitan areas, the cost of living can be much more reasonable. Secondly, the language barrier can be a significant hurdle. According to the U.S. Foreign Service Institute, Japanese is among the hardest languages to learn for English speakers. While many people in Japan, particularly in the cities, do speak some English, you'll find that having a grasp of the Japanese language will greatly enrich your experience and make everyday tasks much easier. Next, let's talk about work culture. In Japan, there's a strong emphasis on ethics, intense commitment, and dedication to the company. This often translates to long working hours and a lack of work-life balance. While this is slowly changing, it's still something to be aware of when considering a move to Japan. Now, the weather. If you're not a fan of the cold, the northern areas of Japan might not be for you. They experience colder temperatures, with average highs often around freezing or below during winter. Summers, on the other hand, can be extremely hot and humid, especially in the cities. Lastly, culture shock is something many expats experience when moving to Japan. The culture is so different from other countries, and while this can be exciting, it can also be overwhelming. Everything from the etiquette, to the food, to the societal norms and expectations can be a lot to take in. Despite these cons, it's worth noting that many people who move to Japan find these challenges to be part of the adventure. Learning a new language, adapting to a new culture, and navigating a new work environment can all be incredibly rewarding experiences. And while the cost of living can be high, the quality of life, safety, and the beauty of the country often outweigh these costs. In conclusion, like any country, Japan has its pros and cons. It's all about weighing them against your personal preferences, needs, and lifestyle. Remember, what works for one person might not work for another, and that's okay. The important thing is to do your research and go into it with an open mind. Those are some of the cons of living in Japan. However, it's important to remember that every country has its pros and cons. So before you pack your bags, make sure you've considered both sides of the coin. After all, forewarned is forearmed. So there you have it, the pros and cons of living in Japan. We've traversed the beauty of its landscapes, the richness of its culture, and the strides it's making in technology. We've noted its strong economy and the benefits of its geographical location. We've also acknowledged the world-renowned hospitality of the Japanese people, the safety that pervades the country, and the efficiency of its public transportation system. On the flip side, we've explored the challenges. The cost of living in Japan can be high, the language barrier may be tough for English speakers, and adapting to the work culture might take some adjustment. The climate, particularly in the north, can be harsh, and culture shock is a common experience. But every country has its unique blend of advantages and disadvantages. Japan is no exception. Remember to subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and be sure to watch our other video on safety in Japan. Thanks for watching.